Welcome to the Compass Audiocast. I'm your host, Hawa Kambian. Prepare to revisit the compassionate wisdom many of us heard in our youth so that we can mindfully apply it to reimagine a future of work that we can all shape for the better. So, welcome back, everyone. It's great to have you here. Let's jump right in. So today's quote is, "Do for others what you want them to do for you." When I was 8, this generally meant fair is fair, and that the best relationships are ones that are balanced. When I started working, it started conjuring up the question, can I really recognize the relationships that are balanced when I'm at work? And also appreciate that the balance is not always a constant 50-50 split. This is another one where I'll talk about a more general dynamic. Like, what do I do when the relationship and the flow between hierarchies in an organization start losing their functionalities? How do I correct and align the healthy versions of managing up and managing down? I'll be honest, I've been in situations where leaders started to slow fade on the social contract of doing the emotional labor required to guide, manage, motivate, and direct me towards being successful in the business. I'm speaking more in depth about these kinds of workplace dynamics at the 2024 Wild Global Leadership Forum this week. Looking forward to having conversations with a global audience. The challenge is being productive is very difficult and demotivating in systems that lack clear communication in terms of the ways of working, rapidly evolving processes, or the evolution of the tools that are used. And these are conditions that we often see in the tech startup space. Achievement and goals are key aspects of the work experience. And in environments where that shifts plenty, leaving behind the communication that helps make sense of all of this is not really a sustainable option. So when I found myself in situations like this, I wanted part of the meaning of my work to be that I was managing up effectively and performing to what was expected, needed, and important for the overall purpose of the organization. And this has 3 dimensions to it, right? Because performance is important for the bigger picture of the organization. It's crucial for the understanding of the team and unit that I'm in and our ability to operate. And it's significant in terms of my own personal measure of my growth, in terms of my skills and my ability to do my job well. And that also flows into topics like value creation, career growth, salary. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe so that these messages can continue to reach and support people as they navigate the workplace. So poor communication at its worst has sometimes looked like the following for me. Number 1, leaders who do not communicate information, who lack transparency of important issues or topics that affect the org, the team, or my specific role. Number 2, leaders who practice miscommunication of important topics, whether that's through sharing semi-accurate accounts or using communication channels that distort or confuse complex information. For example, sending text messages or voice notes for a topic that would have been better as a meeting. And third, leaders who take inappropriate action on communication, like not reliably following up on important information or decisions that they are responsible for. So in those situations, the positive state that I'm aiming for is wanting to feel like the system I was in would be reliable for supporting managers to prioritize good communication. Because essentially, when you do that, you're clearing the way for your frontline, for your workers, for your operators to get things done. And that way they can also focus on advancing skills, the team, and the organization. So when you think about it in this way, when I'm in a team, I'm able then to cycle back up and manage back up the relevant gaps, needs, or achievements that management and leadership would need to address in order for us to continue to do great work. So you can see how these cycles connect and support each other. And this is a really important foundation to establish in organizations, because despite communication being something we've all done from birth in one form or another, it doesn't mean that people inherently have the skills, the practice, or the discipline of being strategic, thoughtful, or consistent when it comes to the communication that's required for an organization to function effectively. Communication and information can represent so many things in the workplace, from establishing authority to grounding trust or connecting to safety. So for organizations to block its flow, intentionally or not, is like having bad plumbing in a building, right? Like, I just know something is not right, and it's probably going to end up in chaos. Many of the cultural issues that plague organizations are also rooted in challenges around norms and expectations for healthy and sustainable communication. The future of work enables leaders and organizations to develop communication styles and structures that blend compassion, curiosity, and change management into how people share information and collaborate towards achieving business goals. So, what to do these days when communication feels awkward or imbalanced in the workplace? Firstly, speak up. When you recognize a problem, at least try and do your part to hold a light up to it so that others have better visibility on it. That's definitely our first point of call as we seek reciprocity in the relationship. In the most polite ways, ask for more clear, more consistent, whole information from your leaders, and collaborate with them to find a solution that works for everyone. Secondly, slow down. Miscommunication is a funny thing. In the uncertainty of it all, some people panic and do as many things as possible, and some people slow things right down and wait to act. With my experience now, I'm more inclined to slow down, get clarity on a situation, support clear communication, and move forward. Thirdly, call it. Decide what your needs and therefore boundaries are around effective communication. Many quote-unquote toxic workplaces are labeled as such due to how people do or don't communicate. But guess what? You have a choice, at work or otherwise, about how much energy you're willing to give to this kind of environment. So be upfront with yourself at what point you've seen or had enough and you're willing to move on. Is your team struggling to facilitate seamless communication and collaboration among distributed, virtual, and remote teams? At HKC, we'll prepare you to create a supportive and collaborative work environment where team members feel valued, motivated, and empowered to contribute their best efforts through leveling up key leadership behaviors, including strategic communication. Visit our website for more. So, the life change here is that as I got better and more consistent about applying the steps mentioned above when it comes to managing up, it became easier to understand who does or doesn't have the bandwidth to be in a healthy relationship or focus on their other priorities. And this is crucial to understand, since we know that work is not just about your technical ability. It's as much, if not more so, about the social collaboration and support that can be leveraged to enhance your technical skills. And when it comes to success, my perception and definition has changed over time. So while in the past, it might have been about holding down a job and a certain title at all costs, it's now more heavily weighted towards professional partnerships with people and entities who are responsive, recognize my gifts, respect my perspective, and are responsible towards our agreements. Navigating poor communication shows me the standard that I'm aiming for, and that makes it easier to find more like-minded and prepared collaborators. Thanks for tuning in to the Compass Audiocast, where we bridge past, present, and positive for the future of work. Please like this post if you found it useful, share it with someone who may need to hear it, and subscribe if you want to be notified when the next one comes out. Let's work together on your team management for more collaboration, agility, and empowerment for the future of work. Leave me a comment to share how you do for others what you want them to do for you. How well is that working for you? Thanks, and I'll see you on the next one.